stay out.
Come and play with us, Daddy.
What's going on, everybody? Let me get this started. Thanks, everybody that stopped in early. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good.
Aye,
Hey,
Greetings, everybody. And
we're drawn again.
excuse me, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on your broadcast, Jacob. I appreciate you for being such a diligent streamer. And Andre Little, future fucking president of the fucking free world. And I think you're going to have a great shot at running for president. I mean, you sometimes having difficulty forming a sentence, but you're nothing. You're nowhere near as bad as Joe Biden. With his lack of common sense. And quite frankly, I think an alien robot would do a far better job as vice president than Kamala Harris has been. But regardless of that, my friend,
Yes.
man, all the best for 2040. You've got my vote 100%.
Cheers.
Thank you, brother. I hear it.
Although I can't vote in that jurisdiction, unfortunately. So.
Well, no, I don't know if you heard what we were saying, but it's cool to have you back on here. Last time you were on here was right before Andre went to Australia, and he's in Australia now.
Crikey!
Yeah, he's on Australia time now. So I was like, oh, cool. It's cool that right before he left, he got to talk to somebody, at least from New Zealand. It's a middle ground because a lot of people, what's that?
It's a middle ground, mate. It's a middle ground. You've done fucking well. Crikey, you're over there in Australia, mate. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. She'll be right, mate. Get a dingo up here. Oh, yeah, the Sheilas over there, all right? Fucking ferals, mate. The Sheilas are a bunch of ferals over there. Look out, mate. They'll be jumping all over your bones, mate. They'll be trying to make a man out of you, those Sheilas there. They don't mess around, mate. They know how to drink their piss.
Have you met any nice Sheilas out there, Andre? Have you met any nice You don't know the reference? Come on. Have you met any nice Sheilas out in Perth?
Well, it's a Sheila.
Sheila is a female.
Yeah. They're referred to as women.
Sheila.
Hello, Sheila. How are ya?
Sheila.
And what about a dingo? Have you had a dingo up here? Yeah.
I have not.
Did a dingo eat your baby or anything?
Don't leave any babies lying around, mate. Especially if you're out camping in the what do they call it over there? The forest. I just sort of do my hair. I've got one of those animal brushes, and I tell you, it really schmickers it up. Makes me look more less of a hobo, more of a rich hobo.
So, Benny, I wanted to pick your brain about this because I've been doing. I kind of stumbled upon this deep diving into this topic because I didn't understand the term gypsy for the longest time. What is the gypsy population like where you're from? I was looking into it more in Europe and understanding it more towards like Wales and areas like that, and understanding the gypsy population and how the government's actually combating it and kind of fighting against these people. And I'm also in the U.S. going towards turning my channel into one of my channels into more of a stealth camping channel, which is very similar. I don't vilify gypsies. I don't vilify them as bad people. I'm all about everybody leaving an area better than they found it, regardless of their social status or how they're classified. But I was kind of curious to what your encounter is with that in your area and what you'd consider that term.
Well, the gypsies are traditionally, from what I understand, out of Europe, they are basically sort of out of some sort of Romanian bloodstock, apparently. I could be wrong, but it's in that sort of, I guess you'd call, part of Europe. And they were featured in the movie Fight Club, was it? Or was it? There was some movie that Brad Pitt was in, and there's some gypsies depicted in there. I think the word gypsy is actually a derogative term, similar to using the N word
Well, no, I agree with you. I agree with you because I think, well, and I also think it's vilified in a lot of different ways. Like the movie Borat. He's like, I'll steal your tears, gypsy. Like I think of it's more of like a traveling family that's not that's not necessarily in one house or one home. I think they're just a traveling person. Doesn't necessarily have to be a family either. I just think it's a traveling person that doesn't have a set location for where they live.
Yeah, I think instead of calling them gypsies, they actually do call them travelers, and I think that's how they like to be referred to as, and that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
A big problem with them is that they will go and, as you say, not leave an area better than they found it. They'll actually,
And that's my biggest thing that separates people taking advantage of having the ability to be travelers and vilifying themselves in that derogatory term of gypsy. And I do the same with people that go around and go camping in other places. Because in the U.S., that's what we call it. It's camping. If you go to a place and tear up the land in the area and leave a bunch of garbage there and leave it worse than you found it, I would say you're not a camper. You're not interested in spending time in nature. You're trying to tear apart nature, honestly.
yeah, that's they ruin it for everyone. The people that behave like that, it's very disappointing to see, and everyone's just trying to have a genuine experience out there on their journeys, and I mean, I think that camping and van traveling these days has changed from back maybe from what it once was. It has become a stealth. It has become stealthy, and so you've got your urban stealth, which is basically just hiding in plain sight, just staying to your own, not making a noise, not making a mess, and just really not really interacting with the environment outside, but just occupying a bit of free space.
Yeah, or just enjoying the space that's there. I mean, I don't think it has to be. I don't think it has to be invasive. I think you can. I think you can enjoy the place that you're at, the area they're in, and so on. And I have no problem with somebody working in the area that they're at, like because I'm all about all these new apps that people have where you can find local work and just look up local work wherever you're at and do what you want to do in that area. I don't think it necessarily has to be destructive. I don't want a snake sale or what do they call it? A snake oil salesman or snake venom salesman comes in.
I always thought that would be a great career.
What's that?
I always thought that would be an interesting career, going around and selling sort of potions out the back of a wagon,
Well, I mean, would you consider yourself a traveler, Benny?
Yeah, I do really. Over the last few years, I've actually traveled the length of the country both years, and I'm drawn. I live in the north of the country here, but I do find myself drawn to the further south because from what I hear, we've got some world-class snow opportunities available down there, and I'm a keen skier, and I've really find that I like to work during the summer and then spend my my winter months working on my fitness, and skiing and trying to enjoy, a little bit of elitism, I like to call it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Because skiers are just a little bit better than everyone else.
I mean, I don't think it's elitism. I think it's just because it's classified as like
No, it is.
Like it's classified as like a hierarchy, when it comes to the people that do actually ski. I don't, and I think it gets misinterpreted between like snowboarding and skiing. So the first time I actually skied, I actually went there with the intention to snowboard. And then I tried skiing and I was like, oh, this is super easy because I had water skied before I had actually snow skied. And then when I tried it, I was like, oh, skiing's not that bad. I kind of like this. It's not a bad gig.
Yeah, it's good. It's good times and great for the fitness. Great way to it's the closest sensation to flying without leaving the ground as such. And yeah, it is a phenomenon. It's a
One second.
What up, Jacob?
What's going on, man?
I just want to point out that this is the first show other than mine that I have done in about, I want to say, 2 months. So, yeah, this actually feels really weird considering how many shows I used to do.
That's why I said I didn't want to pressure you into it. I was like, I don't, and this is probably the first time you've ever been on my show.
Second.
I mean, maybe a couple times in the past, but nothing really significant that I could point out.
I remember there was a time I was mad at Jake about something, and I saw him on your show, and you put the link out there, and I was like, I'm not mad anymore. I'll go on there. You know, it's easy going. I think I'd seen enough of your stuff at that point to know, you know, Jacob's not going to go, oh, why are you mad at Jake, and ask me all these awkward questions. So I was like, but no,
I'm fair with anybody that comes on here. I'm never here to drill people.
and that's exactly why I was like, I'll come on. You know, there's not going to be any backlash. You know, no one's going to go, oh, you're on Jacob's show. Oh, it's like, no.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing that doesn't matter if you're in the PWO or the HWO. Nobody actually gets mad at me because I'm such a fair player when it comes down to it. Like I do really draw the line on that. I'm not here to have people made fun of for no reason.
Well, you're like coming here is like what I am trying to pride myself on with my lives, where it's a neutral zone. You know, anyone can come here and anyone can have a good time, and that's really that's there's a lot I respect about you, and that's definitely one of them. So,
well, that's the one thing. I hope your streams didn't change because you feel like it's gotten to such a toxic area where you don't want to do live streams anymore.
No.
Because for me, like I can see why that could be a thing.
I think I should have really made this clear yesterday, but I didn't get a chance because whenever me and Chondo do shows, anything planned or sort of serious I have in mind goes out the window because, well, but with me, it's like any toxicity elsewhere, now that stays outside. Like to put it this way, you know, there's certain people I'm not particularly a fan of, but I would have anyone come into my show and they're welcome there, regardless of if I like them, don't like them. The fact that all that happened with Chris Doyle, he came into my stream yesterday. He's recently apologized to me for everything that happened. But yeah, he came into my show yesterday. No big deal. Pesci's more than welcome in what I do. You know, Jake, anyone can come into what I do because I like to think hey, there's fighting, there's toxicity, there's good stuff. You know, it's not all bad out there, but we leave the bad stuff out. Much like here, we leave the bad stuff out unless you have particular questions for people. Leave the bad stuff outside. Have a good time in here. You go back out. You carry on with normal life. You carry on your fighting. You carry on your bullshit. You do whatever. So,
well, I mean, and I think I don't know if it's a new thing, and I don't know if you've noticed it as well, but people's online personality between trolling and just bullshitting with people has really changed. The reason I appreciate your work is because whether you're getting along with the PWO community or whatever,
Yeah.
when you're doing your food reviews, you're shouting out Two Chomps, you're shouting out Pesci, you're shouting out the other people that are doing the same things. You're not, oh, I'm going to point out all the bad things going on. Let's talk about, hey, you're doing awesome things too, and I'm going to point out, all the good things that I like about people. I'm not going to point out any flaws that I have with them. That's going out of the way and trying to troll people for the wrong reasons. I think it goes past bullshitting. Like, you know what I mean? It's one thing to bust somebody's chops or to joke around with them. It's another thing to just, that's your only thing. I'm just going to ride on this person all the time. And this is going to be constant content. Like, that to me is exhausting. It takes out of you.
If you bury people in your content, it brings your content down. Like, if I was to sit on here and go, hey, here's A, B, and C why I don't like this person, that's going to bring this show down. Whereas, if I start turning around to you, start making fun of the way you were playing the game you were just playing, that's all well and good. That's messing around. But
fair play.
If you bury someone in what you're doing, it's like it brings it down.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think way too many people waste their energy with that nowadays, and I think it really spiked up during COVID times, just because people maybe had more free time on their hands or whatever it was. But I don't know. There was just something about it where, and now all of a sudden I can't. I mean, it might be my new introduction to the internet. You've been on the internet a little bit longer when it comes to like streaming on YouTube and stuff like that. I liked the ability for a little while to be able to invite people on and meet them, regardless of any worry that they were trying to take down my channel at the same time. I don't know if you've always dealt with that with being online, but for a period of time, I was able to actually let people on, and if they did something bad, I could just delete the stream that I was on, and the channel itself wouldn't penalize me, whether it was YouTube, whether it was Facebook, whatever. And then I got to a point where it was like, oh, you cannot do anything like that. You can't invite up any guest that you've never met before. You have to vet them 100%. Otherwise, we're going to take down your channel, take all of your old content that's on our channel, and you can get it back when we decide. Like, that to me is, I don't know. It sucks that we can't meet people the same way, and that the platforms that we're on don't protect us and want us to grow. And because I really feel like we could contribute so much more to the platforms we're on if they also helped us grow, where they were protecting anybody trying to take you down in a malicious way, especially on their own platform.
That's very much 100% down to cancel culture being such a heavy thing now, I think, because it's somewhat always been a thing, but it's never been as extreme as it is now, where you go back to when I first started doing podcasting, 12 years ago, 13 years ago?
Wow.
Whenever 2010 was.
I'm just reaching the year mark.
Well, that's a hell of a year. Especially the past year feels like a decade.
Well, and I feel like I've grown quite a bit in my time just on the internet, and like learning what I'm allowed to do, what I'm not allowed to do on each platform, and kind of coordinate myself a little bit better. But it's still like there's so many people I look to and go, man, how did you guys get away with the same things that I could never get away with? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. There's so many questions.
Well, it's like when I first started doing this, you know, there was so nowhere near as many people out there as there is now. So if you take into account something like cancel culture, and then you take into account the fact that, you know, everyone is doing this. Whenever I post something, I start looking through like who else is doing this, and I'm like, I lose count because I'm like, just so many people doing everything. And it's almost like you think a YouTube or a podcast provider or whoever your platform may be is looking at what you're doing and being like, we've got way too many people doing this, and maybe we should just thin the herd. And it's almost as if they are looking for a reason to get rid of people, just to be like, hey, you know, come on, let's lessen the numbers. We're overproducing. We got to just chill it out a little bit. So it is almost like they're out to get everyone. But then again, I do just like to create cartoon scenarios in my head as to what
Well,
people like.
without me being like sounding like the conspiracy theorist in all this, like I've had somebody jump on, like I'll invite a guest on that says they want to talk about something. They're talking to me in the private chat for a minute on StreamYard, and they're verified. And this is another thing that I like to point out to YouTube when I'm talking about this topic is I have my StreamYard set up to, they have to be verified through one or another platform, whether it's Facebook
Yeah.
or YouTube. And so I think that adds a little bit of validation or responsibility to YouTube when it comes to, okay, they're certified on your platform. What name did you allow them to make and come on as? Because it's associated with an actual email address. And so I'll let somebody on and they porn bomb me or something like that, and then I take them off immediately. And I've watched my channel get taken down in less than 7 minutes. And then I've watched people like Jake Hudson and also Joe Pesci also have the same thing happen to them on different platforms, some on StreamYard, some on Discord.
Yeah.
And the same thing will happen to them. Porn will play for maybe probably longer than my own because I've been so cautious about it. And nothing will happen to them. They won't get a strike against them. They won't get like they just take it down and there's no problem. And I'm just like, what the hell is this? Because I'm like, I am such a small channel, especially compared to those two. Both of those two are bigger than me. I don't like to put myself in the same echelon as them because I think Jake's significantly larger than myself. I think you are larger than me. I think Pesci is. I mean, just by subscribers alone. I'm not trying to compare myself with people, but I don't understand the attention I get. Like, I don't understand what the benefit for any platform would be to take down a small channel like myself, unless I'm doing something that's out of the ordinary, trying like, you know, I'm streaming, you know, copyright free content. I mean, well, copyrighted content and just trying to make money off of it in some way or something like that, or streaming pay-per-views or like, I don't see myself doing something. Shout out to Girth, first one in the chat. Oh, on both sides. Look at you with the quickness. So I finally got my last community guidelines strike off of my older page. So now I can go live on both of them again. Well, I could have gone live on both of them, but I just, with not having a strike on either one now, I'm a little more comfortable with it. But it's nice seeing you, man. Appreciate you stopping in. But yeah, there's a couple people that might be stopping by. Yeah, not sure when. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. Losing my marbles. That's what's going on here. We'll see what Giggle's up to.
Hey guys,
Hello, hello.
how are you? I just got home a little while ago from work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, long ass fucking day.
I usually don't catch you until late.
You usually catch me on my nights off.
Yeah.
No, usually I've got my hair pulled back, double folded, wearing my Hardee's hat, headphones,
Oh, man. You're talking
ugly
about
ass Hardee's
You're
shirt.
talking about some good French fries right now. I mean, you're
Hey,
probably
Eric.
too used to it.
Yeah, I changed into my comfy clothes for the night.
How's it going, Eric? I saw your video today. I hope you know, man. I appreciate you shouting me out. Crystal, I assume Rocco appreciates it. And then Moriarty, and that's how you pronounce it, Moriarty. In case you were wondering.
Where did he post it?
I believe earlier today.
Earlier
I'm
today.
following on both of them. I'm following him on his YouTube on both of my YouTube channels.
The time travel investigation.
Yep, part 20 something.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay, I just pulled it up on Facebook, and it's got me on a YouTube link.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it on Facebook yet, but
yeah, you posted the YouTube link for it.
Oh, okay.
I just got it.
Gotcha. Well, that means you got to follow him on Facebook. If you follow him on YouTube, you'll see.
Yeah, I will.
Come on now, Crystal.
I follow him on Facebook. I just got to get to following him on YouTube. Mine is I'm doing more of the outdoor survival videos and van life living and.
No, I know. I've been talking to you a little bit about it. I think it's cool. So hopefully Michael's okay with that.
Oh, hello. That's fast.
Go on.
Nice to actually talk to you for once.
Dude, I thought you spoke fluent Spanish.
Spanish? No, I wish.
But aren't most of the streams I watch you in a different language?
No, it's all English.
Really? Oh, wow.
No, I only know how to speak English. But yeah, I might have done some things on Facebook, and I posted about what's gonna happen on September 14th on a time travel group chat or some shit, and I'm just trying to save some people's lives and shit or something.
You got to be careful about saying things that are disinformation, depending on the platform, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll get.
It sucks. No, dude, trust me when I say I understand your idea of freedom of speech.
It'll get me banned from streaming.
Yeah, no, I understand, and I understand probably your idea of freedom of speech, but it doesn't work on these platforms. It's not the same. They don't consider it. They don't consider themselves having to follow the Constitution in any way.
Mm.
I was shocked today. My ex-roommate's little girl's dad came to church today. And he didn't catch fire either.
He didn't catch fire. What do you mean?
Yeah, he's one of those ones that believes that if he goes into a church building, he's going to catch fire.
Oh, because he's so unreligious.
Yeah, he's not. He believes in God and all that, but he's more or less not believing in the realms of heaven and hell and fire and brimstone. He's more into the, okay, this is going to happen next week. We got to be prepared. And they've got like a year and a half of food.
Oh, okay. So he's more of a prepper then.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. I got a question for you and Michael. So you were just getting ready to tell me about Pesci's chat, and I think Michael showed up for the first time.
I was not happy to hear them talking about Andre. I was not really impressed with Granny trying to call you out.
So, all right, I'll explain that in a minute. But what I was going to say is, Michael showed his face in Pesci's chat for the first time, and I had to vouch for Michael. I was like, oh, okay, Michael's a real dude. Like, that's why I said hi to Michael in the chat, because Pesci knew who I was talking about. And I was like, yeah, no, he's a legit guy. Like, he's a real person. I've talked to him several times too. So I didn't want you to think I was, I don't know. I didn't want you to think I was throwing any clout on me. I wanted people to know that, like, you follow us along, and anybody that supports us, we always try to support back. At least on my channel. I can't say the same for everybody else.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that. Like, I was the first one to reach out and go, I know that guy. Don't worry, he's good. I actually had to do that. I had to do that the other day with Eric on Aaron Moriarty's show, because Eric Carthage showed up for the first time, and I could tell Aaron's face. I was like, oh my God, I got to jump in there real quick. And I jumped in on Aaron's chat, and I was like, yo, man, Eric's a cool guy. He has no bad intentions. He might say some things that are a little controversial. And so I was trying to keep Eric on the same level with me, because he immediately started coming in talking about, like, current pandemics going on and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, we can't talk about that right now. We should probably talk about other stuff, especially on these platforms. But yeah, no, I just wanted to know, man, I appreciate your support, and I like your video game streams. Is that how you stumbled upon me, or was it because of Michael?
Well, originally I was watching Apex TV and stuff when I was in high school, and I got really into it. Like, I would not, like, it really got into my head when I watched all these videos, because, like, I had a strong belief in time travel as a kid, and now I'm, like, meeting all these people, and, like, you know, I'm, like, messaging people. I'm, like, you know, I'm learning everything new. I'm learning new stuff every single day, and it feels awesome to know all this stuff. Feels great.
With Apex, and I've told this to Andre, and I've told this to Michael and everybody else. I take it with a grain of salt until something's proven to me. Like, it's nothing personal. I'm not going to tell anybody they're lying, but I will question things that, like, if the earthquake doesn't happen this year, I'm going to be a little thrown off by it. Like, why? Like, they're talking about the earthquake that's supposed to happen this year on the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a pretty big mega earthquake, and I'm like, okay, Andre, Would it throw you off at all if this earthquake didn't happen? Does that mean you're on the wrong timeline? Does that mean other future that are predicted are going to be thrown off, or should you assume them to be the same? Like, I'm not saying everything's wrong. I just say, would you reconsider it like I am? Like, you just kind of told me that you have a lot of faith in Apex TV and you're a big follower of it. So I would always make people address that. Like, even Andre will say, like, I do question him on some things, but at the same time, I would never tell anybody they were wrong. So I don't want you to think that I'm ganging up on you or anything.
Nah, you're good. You're good. I understand what you're saying, man. There's going to be people out there that's going to think different about the situation, and I respect it. You know, like, people have their own beliefs, and if it, for the most part, I hope it doesn't happen, because like, you don't want people's lives to be gone.
Well, so I mean, because of my knowledge of Apex, like I study Apex pretty well, so you'll understand this correlation that I'm about to make to you. If Michael Phillips decides to change a certain event, I personally think there's no reason that it wouldn't have a retaliation and have another event. If you stop World War III and something else happens that causes just as many lives, I think that's the yin and yang of life. I think you're not going to, it's the idea of going back in time and trying to kill Hitler. I don't think it's going to stop the amount of deaths that happen. I think somebody else is going to accomplish it. No matter what leader or event you try to change, I think the yin and yang of life is going to balance it out. If that was meant to happen, it's meant to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that? Without going into detail of what Michael Phillips might have caused or might not have caused, I think of it in that sense. I think lives would have been lost if we would have already had a World War III, and lives would have been lost if a pandemic took over our planet.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
Good way to think of it too.
Yeah,
I never really thought of it like that.
Address everything like that. There's nothing wrong with looking to these things for evidence of future possibilities. Because a big person that I study the most is probably Andrew Basiago, who has been in several different forms of teleportation, Mars room jumps, plasma confinement chambers, and also used chronovision. And when I look at his studies, depending on what he's talking about, I think sometimes he's visiting alternative timelines. Sometimes I think he's visiting our own dimension. And I think it can go different ways. And he started to realize that more over his work as well. And I don't know. I think when we're talking about these subjects, there's multiple possibilities. So I don't want to count anything out immediately.
Right.
So what happened with Pesci's chat?
They were all sitting there laughing and joking about Andre.
But did you see me when I was in there? I was in the chat that day, I believe.
I wasn't paying attention to the chat.
Oh,
I was more getting riled up how they were sitting there talking about Andre. He's a good kid, you know, trying to tell his story, and they're sitting there laughing and making jokes, calling him a retard, basically.
So I don't think they were doing that. With what I thought, because I
he's
think they
going
were
to be president in 2044. Pesci had him crying one night. And
wait. When did Pesci have him crying?
I don't know.
I think that was a rumor that was started by Pena and Ariel, and I don't have any proof of that. I think there's a lot of pretext to all of this conversation, but I can give you what went on recently. So there was a conversation going on in the PWO chat where Granny decided to go out of his way to tell Andre that he would never become president. And I said, Andre, don't listen to Granny. I was like,
Granny's nothing but a drunk and a drug head. Sorry.
Well, basically how I laid it out too, because whether Andre's predictions about the future are true or not, my thing is, if you have the funds, anybody in the United States can become president. If you have the money to do it. And I don't know where Andre's going to be 20 years from now financially. I can't make that prediction. I don't have any future knowledge like other people claim to have. What I'm saying is I don't know where Andre's going to be 20 years from now. He may be very capable of running for president, but if you have the financial means, you can run for president in the United States. That's about all.
Yeah.
I don't have that. And because they were trying to use these false equivalents. They were like, well, I don't think he's going to be president. I was like, okay, do you know how many people thought Donald Trump was never going to be a president?
Exactly.
Talk about it publicly. Like a lot of people tell you all the time that certain presidents aren't going to be presidents, but sometimes they end up being it, and sometimes they end up not being it. I'm not saying you wouldn't eat your words, but I'm not saying you're not wrong either. I mean, you're not right or wrong. But basically, to say that somebody's wrong for trying to want to be president, that's just wrong. You shouldn't go smash somebody's hopes or dreams about wanting to be president.
Yeah.
Regardless of what came to it. If that's something they want in their life, there's so many people in the world that don't want to be president now. They would never want that responsibility. If there's somebody out there that does, why wouldn't you want them to? I just don't get it. Like that was my disconnect. And when it came to the show itself, it got a little aggressive, and I was talking to people a little bit in the chat, and I was like, Granny, this is what I was talking about. Like, I straight up told Granny, I was like, dude, I have real estate in your brain. You're talking about me, what's going on my show, and all of this stuff on a regular basis. I was like, you think I'm upset with you? I don't have a problem with anybody on the internet, because I don't take that home with me. When I get off the internet, I'm off the internet. These are people I'm never going to see in real life. And if you guys take it as I have some kind of real estate invested in you, like I'm worrying about you in my real life, you're confused. Like, if you go on your show every time you get on the internet and you talk about me, I know that you're worried about what I'm talking about. You're talking about my show. You think I'm doing things wrong? That's fine. You're more than welcome to talk about me and do whatever you want. I don't give a shit.
I said this to Rocco and to our audience when we were doing True Shocker together. What people don't see that goes on behind the camera, that is our personal lives. You don't know what goes on behind the camera. So before you start downgrading people, try to walk a mile in their shoes.
No, I get made fun of on a regular basis for what I do publicly on camera. That's where I've gotten for it. Like I've been
called Granny out.
Perpetuating delusion and all these other stuff. I'm like, dude, if you don't like what I'm doing, don't watch my show. And like the people that are making fun of me are the same people that are going, hey, you have 4 viewers. Right now I can look over on StreamYard and it says I got 10 viewers watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know how many people are watching my show. I know as a channel that's got maybe 200 subscribers on my main channel, I have enough what's it called, views and watch hours to be monetized right now. People say they're not watching my shit. I know you're watching my shit. That's why you're commenting on it. You don't like my shit because watching it long enough. Thank you for the
am 6.5 hours over.
Sorry, I'm not going to change for these new people that are coming around.
I am 6.5 hours over on my YouTube.
No, listen to me. Go on to your StreamYard. All right. There's a section that says broadcast, and there's that section that says recording. Delete the recordings.
I am 6.5 hours over.
Delete all the recordings. You don't need them. You can download it off of YouTube if it's already on there.
Why?
Why? Because you don't need it. So what I'm saying is,
I've got it right here. If I want to go back,
okay, so delete it
instead of going to my StreamYards. I can just pull up my videos right here.
Because then you have unlimited hours. I've never paid for StreamYard. I haven't paid for StreamYard in over 8 months, but I have unlimited hours. I do 27-hour streams.
I've done 26 and a half.
I'm gonna say 27 is my record. That's as far as I've gone. But what I'm saying is, you can delete it and you can keep using the same content. All that's saved on the platforms that you save it on. You have more viewers on Twitch, or not Twitch. Twitch. You have more viewers on Twitch where you can actually get it saved on there. All of that content gets saved on there. It doesn't delete the broadcast. So if you need to re-download it from any of the platforms that you're streaming to, you just have to be big enough on those platforms. I can do it on YouTube. I can do it on Twitch. I can do it on Facebook. Any of the places that I stream to, you don't need to keep the recording on StreamYard. That's where you're actually, that's where they limit you. That's what I was telling you you had to do so that you could have 50 hours at all times. Unless you're saving some kind of video that hasn't been streamed to any platform. I have a few videos that have never made it on platforms because they got a little wild and I couldn't post them. So most of the people that give me donations get access to my my secret stash videos. I got probably 50 hours of secret stash videos that are all private on YouTube.
I have over almost 700 viewers on DLive.
I don't know what I have on DLive. I have my DLive shared in all my descriptions. Besides this video, most of my videos all have the DLive in the description, but I don't know how many followers I have over there. I have a DLive account. I have 2 YouTube accounts, 1 Twitch account, 1 Twitter account, and they're all connected to my StreamYard. This is why I fucking love StreamYard. And maybe that's why
I
they do
have
burps. I don't know.
my Discord.
How you doing, everybody?
Dr. Phil.
How are you doing, Dr. Phil?
By the way, Jacob, you want to know who? Now, Giggle Pickles can probably give you a little inside information on here from a little research that was done, and there's some screen captures to show this. I don't have it personally with me right here, but can be sent later. Garth Brooks is actually one of those prophets of truth or cards on deck people. I don't know which.
Thank you.
Garth Brooks is one of those people. I'm
And
100%
so is
certain
this
of that.
Throwback.
Yeah, no, and I've noticed him. I've noticed him in Pook's chat, and I've noticed him around in certain areas. I keep an eye on it, but that's why Garth Brooks will be the first one to tell you I've never pulled up any of his comments. I'll address them, but I haven't pulled them up and ever highlighted it.
Garth Brooks, I have personally seen your comments on Prophets of Truth or Cards on Deck. I don't remember. I hate even saying that name. One of those two channels where you were saying on stuff about Giggle Pickles and stuff about Jake Hudson, stuff about whoever, the one with Rome, when it was Uncle Tom, N-word Rome and all that or whatever. I'm not saying it was you. But we saw your comments in there. There were screen captures. There was no photoshopping because it was somebody who's not going to Photoshop that.
No, but there's people that pretend to be me.
Yeah, and that's why I tried to point out to you the Harry Barnett thing, Giggle, because you were addressing somebody like it was Harry. I'm like, that is not Harry. Like I knew right away when they were calling themselves that, and I could tell by their profile picture. It was a picture of you and Harry set up together.
Well, yeah, that was an obvious.
Why did you immediately?
Harry Beetle Pickles.
But why did you immediately assume that was Harry? Harry's with Evie.
No, well, I would
move to the U.S. and like Harry's a good guy.
It was
like I don't have a problem with Harry.
Photoshopped picture from Pesci's.
But why would somebody just sit there and push that if they had a girlfriend and stuff like that?
Because I try to be nice to everybody. I give them.
I know you're trying to. I didn't think you were being.
Themselves.
I didn't think you were being mean by any means, Giggle. What I was saying was, I hope you can point out the fakes and don't give them.
That was obviously not Harry.
What were you saying?
So that was obviously the Harry. I remember the Harry Giggle Pickles account. That was somebody trying to be funny or stupid. That wasn't Harry.
Like Sexy Harry Barnett or something on.
Right, or Sexy Kenny Chow or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Sirvax Camel's legs. Dick holder or whatever the fuck.
I just called it the James Shand was bored channel. I don't remember.
I told you, laddie, it was not them the whole time. It was Pesci and not the time.
And that's why, dude, it was so funny. I told Giggle to call him James in the background, and as soon as she called him James, he stopped talking.
Yeah.
Every time. It was hilarious.
Nothing time, laddie. I told you.
Oops, sorry, James.
Harry is a work individual. Well, he may be, but I don't believe he's making accounts with his picture and Giggle Pickle's picture on it.
Right. Sirvap, you make a different account for every time you want to talk. I probably have 3 Sirvaps watching me right now.
It's a good thing you have a VPN, Sirvap.
Right.
Oh shit.
I have
even Robert Sampson or whatever his fucking name is said hi to me on Facebook earlier.
Sirvap saying OG says that's a fake Sirvap.
Well, Samson.
Yeah, they do
the Hawaiian. Wait a minute, Jacob. There's like 10 of them. There's like the biker dude. There's the outlaw biker dude. There's the Hawaiian brother guy.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't that
all
Robert,
of them?
the Hawaiian one?
Yeah. Well, there's Robert Sixkiller, Robert.
How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother?
And guess what? They all have the same fake Facebook accounts as friends and pretend names and shit.
They've got about 10 different names that they go by.
Right. It's like the accounts they have as their friends are always like, it's like Joey Johnson with like 18 Chinese letters after it. It's like you click on their page. And it's all like.
I wanted to let you know because I'm going to go with Smith from now on because I fucking love it. This is Michael Moody down here next to you. I wanted to let you know he popped into Pesci's chat just recently. He's a real guy and he's a nice guy. I just wanted to knew who he was.
I've seen the name before in Jake's chat too, I think.
Oh yeah. No, he follows around everybody in the community as well and tries to tune in. He probably stopped following Jake's chat when fucking Andre got blocked and wasn't allowed on there anymore. But I was just giving you a heads up that he's a real person. You guys don't have to like block him or anything.
Thank you.
Garth Brooks, when I click on your account, because I have a wrench on here on YouTube, it'll take me to your channel. It'll tell me when your account was created. It will tell me any videos you have and all of that. So if I look on it here, and I match it up with the other screenshot, and it's the same thing where it goes to your channel. But this wasn't just screenshots. This was, hey, click his name, go to channel because I know you have a wrench and you can visit. When you have a wrench, you can look at people's channels. There's no bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can just go to channel. It's on the little 3 dot icon on the side.
and also in your description, Girth Brooks, it says about you joined in September 1st of 2021, and it says you're otherwise known as. Remember when the famous video that Pesci kept playing? Have fun on the peak.
Hey, Girth, we can do a test if you want. Click the StreamYard link if you want. I'll send it in again, and we'll see if you have a YouTube account or a Facebook or a Twitch account attached to your actual name. This is how I catch people on StreamYard all the time. That's the one thing that you have to do on StreamYard is actually have a certified account. I know who Dr. Phil is when he comes in. I don't actually have to do any research on it because it shows me before I bring him on the live. But yeah, Girth, if you wanna prove your innocence, you're more than welcome to.
Come on up.
And Servap, you're more than welcome to too. Well, the real Servap, please stand up.
Please stand up. Please stand up.
Oh no, he just wants to talk shit in the chat.
Is blame each other. That's all you guys do over there is blame each other and talk about everyone, including Giggles. Schmidt, just the other day, you were calling her ugly and toothless. I can't lie. Just check it out yourself.
So to the person that just popped in,
So stop acting like
popped in the background. Are you trying to say that you're Girth Brooks? You can hear me. Are you trying to say you're Girth Brooks? Is that why you're coming in? You're coming in with a different name than what you're authenticated at on YouTube. Kelton, is that who I'm trying to talk to right now, or do you have a different name that you go by? If you want to, type it in the private chat. I can't hear you, but type it in the private chat if you want to come on. I appreciate that you at least have your camera on.
Those who stir the shit pot have to lick the spoon.
I want to switch it.
So why didn't you just certify through your Twitch account? You can come on here on Twitch too. Yeah. So basically, just a heads up, we're waiting for somebody else to come on. And then I'm gonna bring up.
Jacob, why wouldn't you want to trust me in the first place when I'm a lovely, trustworthy guy? I want a webcam. And by the way, that Jacob, shut up, you cunt. By the way, the slut sitting next to Jacob, what would you like to say to me?
Jimmy.
Does somebody need a hug?
Jacob, listen,
come on with this cherry pie bullshit. Come on now, what are we
Jacob,
doing?
I'm showing to the woman sitting next to me, okay? By the way, the lady in the purple, what would you like to say to me?
Sounds like somebody needs a hug.
Unfortunately, I would not want to have a hug from you because, unfortunately, I think you were a dirty slut. And bye-bye. Have a nice day. Okay?
Okay.
All right, see you later, Jimmy. Is that how you're going to leave us? You
No,
can't get
Jacob, I want nothing to do with you, but unfortunately, I think you're a little faggot.
I'm a bugger now?
Well,
Oh, jardy cunts. That's what happens when you let these jardies on here. You gotta keep an eye on them. I like Jimmy Rizzo, but he gets a little sauced up. He starts his live streams at like 6 p.m. my time, and he starts going hard in the paint. Probably medium, I would say, when it finishes.
Just cook it in a skillet on the stove.
All right, Jimmy, I'm gonna let you on, but you gotta be nice. All right, Jimmy's back. We'll see what Jimmy's got to say.
What do you mean that, Jacob? I'm always fucking nice, man. By the way, the lovely lady in the purple, I love you, that darling, with the glasses on. It's okay, though. And by the way, that Jacob, I'm hungry, and you're talking about fucking steaks. Come on, son.
What's going on this evening?
Tell me why. I don't want to cook a steak. Tell me why. By the way, Jacob, I'm going to disappear soon, and have a nice day, son.
No, I got a question for you, Jimmy.
Yeah. what
So
would this
you've
question be?
one of the regular viewers on your show is Raven, the former WWE wrestler.
Well, it could be, but he doesn't. Yeah, Jacob, he doesn't like to appear some days because, like, I mean, oh, fucking hell. I don't know to say, like, it's him that comes up from WWE. He was quite a famous person, and he doesn't like all the notoriety. And he sent me a message the other day, and you know, he said, Jimmy, are you okay? And he doesn't like to come up and, you know.
But you're friends with him, though, right? You
Yeah,
talk to him?
but he doesn't like the recognition, Jacob.
Oh. Gotcha. All right, I won't call him out then. But
That is that, Jacob. Have a lovely day, my lovely friend. And that lovely lady in the purple, have a lovely day too with the glasses on. Unfortunately, the other guy, I didn't know really who you are.
Dr. Phil?
No, that other guy there who's on your show right now.
Oh, hello. I'm Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite okay, Michael, but unfortunately, I've never
Jimmy
met
sounds
you.
like the lead singer of ACDC, Brian Johnson.
By the way, Michael, I've never met you in my lifetime, and I want nothing to do with you. Thank you, Michael. Okay.
Well, glad to meet you.
Well,
man.
have a nice day there, Michael, and I hope your day is full of homosexualness. Bye-bye.
All right. That's enough of that. That's enough of that, there, Jimmy.
God.
You have a good evening as well, sir.
Like a drunk, perverted Shrek.
These are the type of people that have 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, I told you, laddie. I come over there. Let me tell you about trying to put my finger in the toaster, lad.
So, what was that dude trying to say, though? Well, I mean, Jimmy.
He was trying to say something about homosexuals, but I wasn't going to let him finish because I didn't really feel like hearing it. I knew
It was not going to be good for you.
puffed up. It wasn't anything serious. The last time he came on when he was doing that, Rocco was on. And he was like, all right, listen, Mr. MTK, I got to talk to you. And then, like, went really creepy all of a sudden. And I was like, all right, so long, dude.
Was he,
Nice. It was nice.
he in Scotland?
He's probably been drinking for the last 9 hours.
Is he in Scotland?
Come here.
No, I think he's from, I think he's Welsh.
Oh, well, fuck, he's still like 5 hours ahead of us. He fucking hammered it.
No, yeah, it was light out. He's got a hell of a studio too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's got he's got like 6 monitors. He's got the whole thing Moodlight set up, and
Jacob, we need to start broadcasting your show to Europe, so because like Americans will pay for his show because like listen to this drunk fucking English Scotch cocksucker. He's funny. They might think we're funny just because we're dumb. They'll go eat fucking American.
Hey, Dr. Phil, I'm sitting here scratching my pussy.
Oh, just wait to get his channel taken down.
right. I'm gonna put you with Jimmy. You better take it easy over there.
Told you about it. Jacob was a Scotsman. I told you the whole time. Told him making goddamn jokes about the Hudson.
But I'm actually probably gonna depart, guys. I appreciate it. But actually, I want to get to Terry's comment. He said Billy Gunn, several occasions over the years for several indie promotions. All good things to say about Mr. Billy Gunn. Road Dogg, seen him in the halls at TNA. Never had a match with him. X-Pac is on my list of dream talents that I haven't had a match with yet, but would very much welcome the opportunity. Okay. And I was because Jake was asking about it, and I was like, well, I know Billy Gunn. I just couldn't vouch for any more besides the ones I knew about.
Are you enjoying the scamps? Seriously?
Jacob Waters over here running a scam.
I'm running a scam.
He's taking money for people.
My cat's name is Scamp.
I don't take any money from people. I promise. I don't.
We want to give it
for donations. I always told this to anybody that watches my channel. If I ever ask you for donations, report my channel because it's probably a fake Jacob. I'm never looking for donations.
I'll keep that in mind.
We don't need any more 1099s coming in. That's what I said. I thought, hey, like my Cash App, it's about ready to be wrapped up for the year. I ain't trying to do no more Cash App because they'll be like, well, sir, you sent blah 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 on Cash App. You know what I mean?
They just expanded the IRS. I'm getting enough donations on PayPal where I'm worried that they're expanding the IRS.
Well, you know, here's the thing. I sent you money, see pictures of your butthole. You'd have to tell everybody. I'm sorry, I'm Brandy.
I've never gotten any donations from Jake Hudson. If that's the voice you're
I
talking about.
know that was just Brandy. I sent him money.
I probably sent Jake $90 or something like that, $90 or $100, just because.
Yeah, we got off.
But he's never.
I've only sent him 10.
If Jake ever asked me for money, I would probably never send him another cent.
Dude, I bet Pesci sent him $1,000, or well, I'm sorry, $3,000.
Jesus.
I guarantee it. Every day. Think about that. Every day, $1 to $3.
Oh yeah,
Minimum like $3.
Oh yeah, that'll add up quick.
What's $3 a day?
What does he do with all that money that everybody's been sending him?
Oh God, who knows?
$90 a month. Well, okay, yeah, maybe $1,000 to $3,000, whatever, somewhere in there.
Like I think I've probably sent Pesci $90 to $100.
Oh, wait a minute.
The real Harry Barnett
There
is.
we go. Yep.
And I told you guys once in a while, and there are fake Harrys out there.
Thank you, Harry.
That's not the real one. Let me explain more again. That's the fake one. No, I think that's the real one.
If the real come on, he knows he's always welcome. Because if it was,
all right, that's him. I see his channel. It is him. That's the real fake Harry Barnett. He's always been a fake anyway. So no, that's the real one.
Harry, come up on panel.
Piece of shit, nothing. Yeah, Jake's exactly, dude. If you give him $20 right now, 18 of it will be gone to 15 internet holders in like the next 10 minutes. I mean, ladies.
I was on a live with him the other day, and he had
Jake spreads that money back into the internet.
Gave him money to join his channel, to join her channel. And I think
Harry Barnett says, "Take a lap, Schmidt."
Piece of shit, nothing.
Damn, that's a
It's about to be 4 a.m. over here.
Same here for me. I hear you, man.
17 feet.
You know that's a fake Harry Barnett anyway. Over there making fake accounts and Jake Hudson. Now you know I'm gonna get a message in the morning that says, "I heard you in person. I saw you impersonating me on Jacob Water Show. Where's my money?" Just so you all know, I will get that. I'll have to send him money.
A handful of people know and can do with it as they will.
It's all James Shand.
No, here's the thing. You know, TK, for what you said earlier in the chat, what you did.
My flashlight. It just said it was charged, but now it was just green for a second. I've never seen it go green before. But flashlight. It's like a cool little flashlight. I can like make it so. Looks like this now. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, my flashlight can.
Yeah, we know. There's Harry and GP. There's other accounts too. We're aware.
We were actually just talking about that, Harry. That I let Giggle know that there was fake ones on her account because I told Giggle while she was on live. I was like, "Wait a minute, I'm talking to Harry right now." I know. And then she started calling. The fake Harry James, and then all of a sudden
they stopped talking.
Yeah.
And
I give everybody enough rope to either pull themselves out of the hole that they're digging or they hang themselves with it. So
yeah, just like me and Jacob said earlier, magically when I just fucked with somebody and called them out and said they were obviously a troll, what did they do? Jacob can tell you this. They said all the same things that Throwback said.
Yeah.
Yep. Him and Girth.
It was all well, yeah, that's what it was. It was magically it was deflection. Well, you said this, Jacob. You were over there saying that. Schmidt was over there saying that. GP, you faked this. Like, no, wait a minute. Get back to what we were talking about. Trying to deflect the same way, like you said, Jacob. Divide and conquer, whatever.
Yeah, let's play nice with one person while we make fun of two other people. Or
there you go. We're always like, way to go, Jake or whoever. Fuck you, Mountain Timer. You're a drunk. Or way to go, Smith or Schmidt or whatever the fuck. Oh yeah, fuck off, Calvin or Billy Bob or whoever.
Yeah, there's 11 people watching. I assume there's a survey coming in soon.
He keeps scratching you.
Yeah, you can never escape it.
Why do we have 11 people?
Well, and there's also hey, let's face it, everybody said
11.
We got 11 people watching at 3 a.m. I said, why?
Once you actually saw, like I said, though, was like with the the whole fake bullshit where people saw that like Pesci and me and Mountain Timer and everybody liked to see that picture and laughed about it. Then there was other people who ran with that as well. It was obvious. They don't all talk the same, but the obvious ones are the same person, no doubt. It's like patterns or whatever.
It's all right, Harry.
Yeah, Harry, exactly. Girth, Searbat, Harry, and GP, Secretary, Crackhead, Calvin.
Just end it with etc. And we'll know because there's multiple.
Stamps. Mommy's hand is.
Was the fifth person that came on?
That is my.
That was somebody from the stream that Jacob knows. That was a Scottish.
And Girth has made his rounds. He's a regular on Pook's channel, and like every once in a while, they'll get an account that makes it around on a few laps, and sometimes they'll keep them around for a little while. It's usually because of how funny their name is or something.
You had a hair in your throat.
As long as you don't say anything too awful or repetitive. And like I said, also was the one guy said he liked the troll. It's on one of Pesci's shows. I know Pesci well enough. If I tell him to find it, he'll dig back far enough and he'll find it.
You all right?
If he's hardcore like that, he'll fucking go back and find it. You're like, oh yeah, here's the chat on the chat or on video or audio where they said that.
He's like, no, motherfucker. I can't hear you, but I'm guessing that's what it was.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that fucking grotesque in shape body that you have.
Right.
Why the fuck would anybody want to see that shit, dude? You've got a 9-pack. It's unnatural.
Did something bite you next to your titty? You got like a third nipple.
Yeah, I've already said it was a fucking bug bite. I got a bug bite.
No, I didn't hear anything about it, man. I don't.
Oh God, I was outside so sweaty.
How you been, man?
I've been okay. I've been doing some time travel research.
Some time travel research. What do you got?
All right, hold on. Ronald Patel? No. Mallet. You know who Ronald Mallet is?
Ronald Mallet. Give me a story a little bit. Maybe I can help you out.
He's the only guy that I would actually believe has and listen, my ideals after reading this have changed a bit. Not a lot, but a bit. He is the only guy that probably right now has actually proved time travel.
Is he the scientist that like turned up in Africa?
Well, he's an African American man, but
no. There was a U.S. scientist that apparently was doing some kind of experiments, and he actually turned up on a different continent. I didn't know if that's who you were referring to.
No, this guy's he's still a professor at the University of Connecticut. He's been there since 1975.
Okay.
He has actually proven that what you're for to actually travel back in the past.
I know who you're talking about. His dad passed away from cancer. I
yes,
know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, okay. Just had to give me a second. I was like, oh God, there's so many people in time travel. He's not really into time travel. He would love time travel to be accessible for him.
Actually, he did make a machine that sent particles into the future.
Yeah. His laser device has actually done quite a bit in the advancement of understanding time travel.
You're absolutely right. And after learning about him, his theory is correct, I think. But It would take a fucking machine the size of the observable fucking universe to make it happen.
I'm not saying that. Just like traveling at the speed of light would make you have a larger craft by definition, because it would be stretched out over a long period. I don't necessarily say that I know how time travel operates or anything like that. All I know is that science has proven that time travel is possible. We do it every day, and then it's also possible to do it where we actually go back in time. And we know ways of doing that. Do we think that the human civilization is capable of it? Probably not. But
at this point, no, man. We're so far away from it that
but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that our military has more advanced technology than ourselves.
I can agree with you there and also disagree with you there. I think that they may have the technology to go forward in time. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's easy. All you have to do is loop around a fucking black hole. So
let me give you a variable here. When people talk about their time travel experiences, you're thinking of it as, I assume, you're thinking of it as somebody gets into some kind of machine and goes back into time. So by paradoxical anomalies alone, you could not go back in a time machine.
Not true.
Time machines weren't created without being
that is true. But you're absolutely right. You have to go back to the point where the time machine is.
Hold on. I know. No, I agree. There has to be a time travel. There has to be a time travel device that you can access in order to get back. So what I'm saying is, there's other people that have done this stuff, and they don't talk about it as time travel physically. They either talk about it as like chronovision, where they're going back and dialing into energies from the past, where it's more like a TV dialing into a channel that's a certain year. And they say
like VR
on the event, kind of like VR, but you're watching it on an actual screen. They say that they've witnessed Jesus's crucifixion and stuff like that, and they claim to have pictures from it. Like there's a lot of different accounts of it. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to the past, people don't actually claim a time travel device.
Basiago does.
No.
Basiago claims to be at the fucking Gettysburg Address.
Yeah. Do you know how he did that?
How? Chronovision?
No, he did that on plasma containment. He called it, where he basically submerged his body in some kind of a plasma chamber, and they sent him back. And I almost think, like, by his description, that he took over somebody else's being at the time. Like, I don't actually because that's the only way I can justify it, because his physical body was never there. Because they say he lost his clothes just on the traveling. Like, if you were in a confinement chamber and all your clothes are confined in the confinement chamber, you wouldn't lose your article of clothing on the way, unless you were actually jumping your body. So I don't know. When it comes to some of the things that Andrew says, that's why I reference that. Is a lot of the people that talk about going to the past don't actually talk about physically going there.
But he did. He said he was there. He does say he
was there. He doesn't say his physical body was there. He also makes a claim that he
said he was a child with larger clothes on because he came through it naked. Because
his clothes apparently got blown off in the process. If by his own definition, you were in a plasma confinement chamber, in a chamber, let's call it a deprivation tank. If you're in any kind of tank and you have clothes on, are they going to get blown off?
I don't probably not. It depends on the theory of which they're talking about. Like
the theory
Ronald Mallett's theory would be that
what's that?
Ronald Mallett's theory, which is basically, it's very debunkable, but it's also one of the most solid ones that you have, is that they would pass light through a superconductor, which would be some kind of water, some kind of ionized liquid. They would pass light through it to bend gravity because light has a light has gravity as well, right?
I mean, it depends on if you're measuring gravity by waves or if you're measuring it by impact on mass.
No, I'm just on how it bends the space-time continuum.
Okay.
So it has gravity.
I think you'd have to generate a large amount of mass
That's
in order to get time to bend space.
And that's what I said. So Ronald Mallett's theory would literally take a fucking laser beam the size of the observable universe in order to loop space-time back around to bend back to itself to travel into the past. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. And so I don't diminish any scientific explanation for these things. That's what I wanted you to know about me the most, Granny, is you honestly don't know what I feel about these things. So when you say that, oh, Jake believes in time travel, he believes in this and that. Yeah, I believe in the things that science has showed me. I'm open to people's opinion about other things. I'm not shutting them off.
Well, those theoretical theories, I mean, that can be proven by math. That's the thing, right?
I agree. That's why we both addressed them.
So, but at the same time, like, they are theoretically improbable from what we have. Now, what if we went by the Draco equation?
I don't know what the Draco equation is. The Draco equation is basically the Drakean equation. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but it's basically the explanation that because of the amount of planets in our universe and other universes, the fact that there's probably life more advanced than ourselves out there that could also travel and be abundant as well as ourselves. So it's basically saying that the odds are that there are aliens, and either we've met them or we haven't met them, and we know this by theory. It's been presented.
It's also called the Green Bank equation. The Drake equation, also called Green Bank equation.
The Draco equation, or
it's just Drake equation that purports to yield the number N of technically advanced civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy as a function of other astronomical, biological,
and it's just by odds. There's a lot of variables in it where it could be altered, but at the same time, you have to acknowledge that just because there's a theory out about something doesn't make it true.
Right. Again, yeah. And because it's a probabilistic argument, it's not an equation. Whereas Ronald Mallet has literally sent shit forward in time. That's the difference.
He's been able to send messages forward in time. Yeah.
But I mean, going back is the difference.
In the 1500s, people were able to identify tachyons before they were actually identified in the 1900s later. But tachyons eventually became a relevant thing, which are it's not an atom. It's a small form of things that basically can travel at the speed of light. And if we could send messages through tachyons, we'd actually be able to break the time dilation theory, I think is what it's called. That basically you could send messages before you knew they were supposed to be sent.
Here, this is what I don't like about this equation. Yeah. Hold on. It's because it's times by infinite. That means that it's very probable. I'm not disagreeing that there's not life forms out there. I am disagreeing that dead internet theory.
Touche, sir.
It's not probable.
If you ever watch my channel, though, dead internet theory, like, this is something like we like to discuss all the time. I said like way too many times. This is something we like to talk about all the time, and I like to hypothesize about how it would be possible and how it wouldn't be possible, because whether I'm talking about politics or anything else, I want to know both sides to it. I'm not telling anybody that they're wrong until I know I'm wrong or they're wrong or anything else.
So it's not letting me post it, but it's R times F, the fraction of those stars that have planets.
Yeah.
Times the average number of planets that can potentially
That are in
support
the
life
Goldilocks zone. Yeah.
per
No, I know.
star
There's so many
that has
variables.
planets.
That's
Yeah.
and that doesn't take into account meteorites. It doesn't take into account any kind of natural disaster that could have happened to said planets that exist. Like there's way too many variables.
And what do you think about the Nemesis theory?
The Nemesis theory that Nemesis and are you talking about like the eighth planet or whatever, the planet X?
No, that would be Nibiru is what I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about there's a theory. So like mass extinctions and ice ages have all occurred damn near at the same time on this planet.
So you're talking about the 32,000 year
26 million.
26 million, is that what it is?
It's 26 million.
I've heard it phrased as like 32,000 years. There's a natural change, whether it's polar on the planet.
Yeah, but the theory Nemesis is a red. It would, if you believe in the theory, would be a red dwarf that is a binary star with our sun.
No, this is also the planet X theory, in that when it passes by, it alters the polar shift of the planet.
No. What it does is it brings comets with it because it's a red dwarf. It has so much gravitational pull that it actually has a comet belt around it.
Well,
and
that's the same theory that's with the other planet that you just were talking about when I first brought it up.
Nibiru.
Nibiru, yeah. They also say it's a cluster.
3,600 years though.
Well, I'm just saying that they also say it's a cluster of planets and also has a trail behind it. So I don't think it's been distinguished, but the one that you might be talking about has an elliptical orbit and apparently is out of the regular orbit that we have for all of our other planets, and it's actually, I think it's possible. The only time we've actually noticed its existence was because of Saturn. Actually, in the gravitational pull from when it went past Saturn.
Nibiru, yeah, I think that, I could be wrong there too. I believe that Nibiru has actually been discovered. It's a rogue planet. What I'm talking about is actually a binary star with our sun. It's a different entity. It's called the Nemesis theory. Now Nibiru would, when that came back by, would actually that's when the Anunnaki would be able to influence us again if they were still alive, that is. But the Nemesis theory is that a hypothetical. It's not, it's just a theory.
But I think what we're both talking about is hypothetical at this point, at least.
Absolutely.
But,
none of this is.
But I think the only similarity we have with, depending on the topics that we're talking about, is that they both have an elliptical orbit that's different from the regular orbit that we think of as the planets.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, it wouldn't be your 9-planet design, which we've clearly shown that that's not how planets fucking work. I mean, that's clear evidence that our solar system with the 9-planet or 8, whatever you fucking want to believe in, design is it's kind of unique because generally planets don't work like that. It's unique to our solar system. And I've been looking more into this Nemesis theory, and it makes sense because the Nemesis is a red dwarf, which holds a higher concentration of gravity around it. And when it comes back around, it brings comets that fire inwards. So Jupiter doesn't take them, because basically Jupiter's our fucking protector.
Saturn's our protector.
Well, both of them.
Jupiter probably also does stuff, but by gravitational mass and understanding gravity, Saturn's usually the one that absorbs things in our universe.
And I don't know what the statistics for fucking meteor eating is or comet eating is on those two planets, but I would say that it does make sense to me, and I'm not saying it's true. I don't believe in it, but it would make sense. I mean, the gravitational pull of a red dwarf is fucking immense. It would be more than the sun.
Yeah. Well,
so
it's also speculated that like red dwarf planets, depending on what stage in their life they are, they also generate heat from the inside, so they don't necessarily need a sun to circulate in order to maintain life on such planets.
Well, no, it technically would be its own sun because it's just a star that exploded. And then eventually it's going to become a black hole.
Dwarf hasn't yet imploded.
Saturn eats most of it. Yeah, that's probably why the rings, huh?
Comet Shamacher-Levy collided with Jupiter in 1994. I'm not saying comets haven't collided with Jupiter. I hope we're clear on that much. It's definitely possible for Jupiter to absorb them, and I think Jupiter and Uranus are known for their atmospheres compared to other planets in our solar system. Like I said, I'm a big advocate of science. I just think people, depending on who I'm interviewing, assume that I either don't know anything about science or would assume that I don't do any research on that as well.
Well, again, let me just confirm. I not confirmed. I mean, if that would make more sense for the rings around Saturn if it was eating more, but I know that Jupiter.
Well, that would just tell you by its size and its gravitational pull that going to have a ring around it that never formed with the planet.
Well, yeah, because it's just rock and ice. It's basically just fucking shit on asteroids. They got fucked up.
Well, why didn't it fall to the planet?
I don't know.
Science tells you that. That's why I'm saying these things are important to note, and that it helps you better understand our universe and why.
Maybe because it's gaseous, right?
As random as people think we are.
It's gaseous, so like there's nothing really for it to fall into. And so it just got collected in the orbit.
It is mostly gaseous, but it would have a core as well.
Well, it would have a core. Yeah, I know, and I'd get you there, but wouldn't it, I mean, if it was gaseous, and I don't know a lot about the atmosphere of Saturn, so I'm not I'm not an expert on any of this shit.
Nor am I. I just like to talk about it.
Wouldn't it wouldn't fall directly into the planet, whereas Jupiter's mostly caustic, where I think it eats the shit more than Saturn does. And I think that Jupiter has a bigger.
Jupiter has less of an atmosphere where it wouldn't affect the comets as much to actually impact the planet. I think Saturn's got a way stronger atmosphere. I would say the strongest atmosphere in our solar system is probably Uranus. No, wait, is it Jupiter or Uranus? One of them basically.
Or Neptune.
No, it's Neptune. Neptune.
Yeah,
right.
It's Neptune.
Yeah, Neptune has the strongest one. That's why we actually speculated that it has a greenhouse effect on the actual planet. And
it's got that weird high fucking it's got like a weird geometrical shape on it.
Yeah.
And then nobody can explain what
they think about the eye. Like if you think about how strong the storms that are going on the surface, like the eye of Saturn or whatever, that's a storm. It's a tornado basically that's going around.
That's Jupiter, isn't it? Or is there one on Saturn as well?
That's Saturn. The eye of Saturn is from Saturn.
Okay. But it's like the big red spot on Jupiter, right? I don't know a shit ton about Saturn.
God damn it. Why are you gonna come on here? You told me you had smoke. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
I'm just fucking with you, Granny.
That's all I do is
Come
fuck
on, man.
around.
I'm glad you came on doing it to entertain my 4 viewers, as you say.
That was a dick thing to say, wasn't it?
I mean, I take those on the chin.
Yeah. You'd still whip my ass, you 9-pack having motherfucker.
I wouldn't fight anybody that I didn't have a reason to fight.
Yeah.
So in that sense, no, I wouldn't ever beat your ass for no reason. Like I said, I've always liked you, Granny. I think we disagree on things, but I don't have anything against you.
Are we gonna make out?
I mean, if you want to.
No, I don't want to.
At least rub my kitties while you do it.
That's true.
I like a little foreplay. Does Neptune spin a different way than all the other planets also? Yes, it does. It does have a what do they say?
Oblong. It's like oblong.
It's oblong. It like wobbles, but it's also not clockwise, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's another planet I'm thinking of.
And I know it has like a really weird geometrical fucking shape on it. One that's like completely unexplainable. Like it shouldn't occur in nature, kind of.
So let me pick your brain about just our solar system. Do you think it's possible that Mars ever had life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it did at one point, yes.
Okay. What do you think of the asteroid belt on our inner solar system?
I think that it's there.
You think that it's there? You want to hear my theory about it?
Sure.
I'm convinced that it actually used to be a planet that used to be around. I don't know why it's no longer a planet and why it's not solid anymore, but I feel like it actually used to be a planet, and by how big the asteroid belt is, it would have been a life-sustaining planet that was larger than the Earth.
Well, you know, the Sumerians say that the prince that came here to give us consciousness basically blew through the asteroid belt. So if you read...
I mean, they actually reference a cosmic war that happened between...
They reference weapons of war.
No,
and they say he used them to blast the asteroid belt.
Planets as well. I mean, depending on what Astroterian text you're looking at, or if you're talking about Zechariah Sitchin, they actually reference the bodies of the planets as actual beings.
I lost you. You sound like you're in a fishbowl. You sound like you're outside.
My bad. Is my mic being weird?
Yeah.
But no, they actually reference people like they're actually beings when they're talking about these planetary bodies. That's why most of our planetary bodies actually have gods that they're associated with, because that actually goes back quite a bit.
From what I've read from the Sumerian tablets, and we don't even know if that's fucking true because we're literally listening to other people's translations, is that a prince on Nibiru was going to be executed, and he stole a ship and blasted through the fucking asteroid belt and found this planet and created us to mine gold.
Yeah.
So he could save
in order to replenish their atmosphere.
Yeah.
By their explanation.
Right.
I think Zechariah Sitchin got it wrong, but I don't think he was off the path of possibility.
I do agree that probably was a planet at one point. They had like a huge collision. I mean, what is that? What's the theory about Earth and the Moon? That these were two separate planets that collided with each other.
Do you think the Moon is fully explained how science has explained it?
No.
Because I mean, without science will tell you alone. Without the Moon, we wouldn't be a planet.
Absolutely not. I know. I completely agree. They call it starts with an A. They called our planet something else, and they say that the collision.
Agartha.
That you're absolutely right. Yes, it was Agartha, and the collision between us and the Moon.
Agartha is actually a Buddhist term for an inner earth. Same with Shambhala or something like that. Basically, it's an idea of a higher plane of existence. The name Agartha has been used all throughout history, but at the same time, Agartha itself is mostly noted as a higher plane of existence and more like a heaven.
Yeah, it was used in Viking terminology. Wasn't Agartha the town that Odin and all them lived in?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, I mean, no, I believe there was. Yeah, and we're gonna lose it eventually too. We know that it's separating from us.
It's actually growing closer.
Is it?
Yep.
I from what I'm understanding about it is it's actually separating from us, and eventually it's gonna lose the gravitational pull. But maybe I'm wrong there too.
Well, this is where because I think this is relevant when you talk about global warming. I think I'm not saying you're talking about that, but I think it's related to talking about the moon and its positioning. When you think of global warming, I don't think at a natural I don't know how to phrase it, a natural occurrence, the planet would have any frosted edges on the top and the bottom. I think naturally it would either be a water planet or it would have all the water that it could have, and it wouldn't sustain ice for a period of time longer than, like, if you're looking at the planet as its whole existence, how long it had ice on the tips would be quite irrelevant to its full existence. I think.
Now, I know you looked at that link that I sent you about, what is it? Tepe. I'm just gonna call it Tepe. I don't know how to say that fucking G word.
Tepe?
Yes. All right. What about the older site than that?
There's plenty of. So did you see what I tagged you after I saw that?
No. I may have.
So it was about Graham Hancock, and I asked you if you had done any research on Graham Hancock. So what he does is he goes around and basically pictures and documents civilizations that some of them haven't been on the surface of the planet in 2,000 years. Like, you can go off the coast of Japan and they have structures that are built like that, but also haven't been exposed to basically air in the last 2,000 years.
Yeah, they're underwater.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw you reference how old, I don't know if you're going by the scientific data or what, about how old the pyramids are, it kind of made me question how old you think the pyramids are.
Well, I mean, I'm just going by what science says, and they say around 2,000 years.
Do you think science understands it though?
No, and I know what theory you're going with there too. That's more towards the Emerald Tablets, right? Where they're saying
it doesn't have to be.
I'm just saying though, the Egyptians always said that the fucking pyramids were there when they got there.
Yeah. The person that found the Sphinx and the Sphinx enclosure, it was buried when they found it.
Yeah, I do know that.
And I mean, the pharaoh that found it often gets credit for it. But the stuff that I look at are actually like our modern day researchers, like Mr. Shock, who has noticed the weathering on like the Sphinx enclosure and also the Sphinx itself, that supports the fact that it was probably around in a tropical time.
Yeah, and they say it's over 10,000 years old.
They wonder the age of it based on that, but it's not accepted by science yet, regardless of if, that person has presented his version of it. I mean, I think it also has a lot to do with how much we're able to actually study the Middle East and what's going on over there, especially.
Plus, did the Nazis fuck that shit up a little bit? I think they like blew some shit off of it.
I think the face of the Sphinx has been changed. I don't guarantee. I would speculate that the Sphinx used to have a very much larger nose, and it was probably more African based by genealogical like definition. There's no reason it would look like an Egyptian. It would look like an African American. You know, it had a larger nose, and it would be structured different. It doesn't fit the body.
All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I've got another question for you.
All right. Always ready for you, Granny. But yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying the show. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in. We're kind of addressing a little bit of everything, I guess. Dead internet, you got to say some fun things. Otherwise, I can't put those comments up. Come on. What are you doing to me? The dead internet theory. So is that the one that basically is the idea that we're a simulation inside of a simulation? We're Sims playing Sims. That's basically what's his face? Elon Musk's theory about what we are as civilization now.
So stay out. You understand? Stay out.